Hey, 60s and crushing it. I am back for a minute and I thought you'd like to get ready with me. So I'm just going to talk as I get ready. Now I've already done my skincare, already hydrated. What I did put on was a little bit of nourishing oil because, one thing I have found is that if I don't look hydrated, then once I put my look on, I won't look hydrated either. And that's never a good look. So I put on a little bit of nourishing oil, just kind of blotted it in. And then we are going to start with our eyes. Don't waste it. Put it on your hands. But I'm going to start with my eyes, and I am going to start with a color corrector because we have a whole lot of discoloration well, most of us. I shouldn't say all. If you don't, then you don't have to do this. But what I'm just going to do is just a little bit of a color corrector. My color is a light peach. Some might be a dark peach, but I'm just going to take away that discoloration that I get in the eye area. It literally just takes a dab. You don't want a lot on. Matter of fact, I need to probably blend that side out a little bit and just put it just where you have discoloration, nowhere else. So you want to color correct. I'm going to blend that out right up on this eye because I did a little heavy-handed. But you want to color correct before you conceal, and because it's totally different things, right? Concealing and color correcting. So I just took away a little bit of the purple, a little bit of the kind of red blue that I have going on there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my concealer. So on my concealer, now this is I could use a light beige because I am definitely a beige, but I chose to go with kind of a dark, deep light, and that is light number 2, just because I want to kind of brighten my area, because we can, when we are getting a little bit older and starting the aging, we can get a little too dull looking, and then we try to do it with products and we just can't. We're going to talk about that in a second when we do our eyes the rest of the way with color. But here's what I want to do. So I just have a little bit of translucent powder, and I am literally, like, I have residue in the lid because you don't want much, because if you have too much, it can start to look a little crepey, and I'm literally just patting over that where I color corrected and concealed. And that way it just kind of seals that in, and I can go with my look. Now today, I'm just gonna do a super easy look. So this is Copper Nova. I'm gonna put it all over. I'm gonna do it a little bit heavier. This is our shimmer stick. There's a difference between shimmer and, oh gosh, I can't even think of the word right now. I've been doing this for 24 years. Can't think of the word. But kind of, I guess I want to say like glimmer. Or glitter. So shimmer, literally, I'm just going to take my brush and pat it in. Or you could take your finger. Now I have a little bit of oil residue that I typically would have wiped off. But I'm going to take that and blend it upward. Now, because I am in my 60s and I got a little bit of aging going on here and here and here, I'm not going to continue any color up under my brow. I'm not going to highlight that area like we used to do when we were younger. And because I am just in a simple look today, I'm really just running a few errands, working around the house. I'm just going to take our bronzer and just kind of tap and put that all over. Because you could do it with hazelnut, you could do it with a coppery color, but I'm going to use it later on my cheeks, so it's just easy access and one and done. So I'm just taking it into my crease on my brow and done with the eyes. And then I'm going to take golden. Now, before I hit my 60s, I would love to do this little tear duct area and really brighten up the eye. But we can get so crepey looking that we have to be careful. And so I am going to just put that on my lid just as a little like shimmer. And it's okay to kind of gently pull out that eyelid. No matter what our grandmas said, it won't stay. It bounces back. And so I have just a little bit of golden right there just to kind of brighten up the look. And if you want to take it a little step further, you could put a little, I don't know, hazelnut or espresso right in here just to kind of lift, but today I'm not going to. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our finishing spray before I even put on my, on the rest of my color and my face. I'm just going to spritz it and let that set, let that dry for a second. And that's going to set that look. Now, if I were going to do eyeliner, I would do it now. You can easily do it with a color and just go in and tap it right in. But today, I'm just not going to. And then you want 2 coats of mascara of your choice. Just top it with a waterproof so that it stays on, whether it's allergies, whether it's just getting a little bit watery eyes from dry eye. Excuse me for being so close to you. And then you tap it with, tap it with a waterproof. Now, we have our middle granddaughter graduating high school this weekend. Our oldest grandson is deploying this week. And then another grandson is, his brother is graduating high school in a couple weeks. So there's going to be a lot of happy tears, but just kind of tears, I know, watching them and thinking back and reminiscing about how fast time flies. And don't we know it? We see it in them, we see it in our face, we just see it, and it can sting a little bit sometimes, but it's a good sting. And so if you are in that kind of era of change, I get you. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my foundation on. And so this is our 3D complex. I used it the other day. And this is our, I'm a cool undertone. And my old shade would have been on this one, a C170 in the old formula, if you were a Mary Kay user. And then this one to go over it is a medium 3. And so I know that I'm a little bit deeper down here because one thing that we want to do is we want to match our chest and the base of our neck. Never here because it's always shaded, but here on down. So typically I would, if I stayed this deep, I would go even a little bit deeper. Like the other day, I wore a shade in a medium 13 because it matches my chest so well. But I'm starting to fade from my Florida vacation, and so I want to just go back to kind of my normal color, and then I'm going to deepen it up with a little bit of a bronzer. And you could do either or, but you don't, what I wanted to show you was you don't have to buy a couple different foundations. You can still use your shade. The really cool thing is, like, I went from a medium 3 to like I said, a medium 11. I don't know if I said 13. I meant 11 if I did. But it's crazy because there's a lot of numbers in between, but it's your undertones that match. So if I was to go from a 3 to a 4, then I would be putting on like yellow undertones. I'm just throwing out undertones. I'm not sure if a 4 is yellow or olive, but I wouldn't want to be warm because then that would make me look pasty. And I think a lot of times when people put on foundation is that if it's not the right shade, they just go up one number instead of going up one full shade of their undertones. So either you're a cool, which has like rosy pink or sometimes peachy undertones. You can be a warm, which is yellow undertones, more bronzy yellow, and then you can be olive. And so when you match those, like if you're an olive, you definitely want to skip to the next olive, because if you put on yellow or pink, you would look dull and ashy and just not happy. Now I do want to show you a trick, and I meant to do this and I failed, but if you want, I swiped because I just wanted a sheer coverage today. If you want more coverage, then you're going to what's called stipple or bounce your foundation. You can do it with a brush, you could do it with a sponge, and with a sponge you would want to wet it and bounce it. So kind of pat it in, and you can already see the coverage difference. So it just gives you more coverage. I'm not going to do one side without the other, so you're going to have to watch me bounce on this side too. So here's bouncing that foundation. One thing I did not do was foundation primer today. I would typically do foundation primer just because you want to seal in those pores with your skincare. And when you do foundation primer, make sure that you're going always like circular motion, putting it on, because you want to cover all the pore, not just down the pore, right? And open it up. But I didn't do that step this day because, like I said, I'm just kind of going out and about on my day and with some errands and just a day of working in the yard. So that's a great color, even though it's lighter than my face and neck right now at this time of year. Now, if I really, because it's kind of getting warm and humid out, so I'll just go ahead and just do another spritz of our finishing spray, which is amazing. It just keeps it on. And even though this is really humidity resistant, that finishing spray is just going to keep it there. It's going to really kind of set it. So I'm going to take my translucent powder again. I got too much on my brush. So I'm just going to pat it. Oh, it's really flying. So pat it off, and then I'm going to brush down. And the reason we brush down is because we have a bunch of little fine hairs on our face, and it's fine when we're looking in the mirror and then we get out in the sun and everything's kind of pointing up and we see all those hairs. That's usually why. And I got a little brush bristle on my face, tickling me. I dropped something. Oh, it's just a lid. Now I'm going to go back in, and like I told you, I am my shade, I am my color, but I want to match my neck while I am dying down from my Florida vacation. And so I'm going to go in again with a little bit of that bronzing powder, and I'm just going to just put it up here at the top, and then along my cheek, where my cheeks would go. Remember, that is no lower than your nostril central point, no closer to the nose with this territory and here, just leaving it bright and open for a lift at our age. And then down here, just to kind of deepen it a bit and not make it look like I have the wrong shade, because I don't have on the wrong shade. I have the right undertone on. I just needed it to be a little bit deeper. And then I'm just going to go in with just a bright little cheek color on top of that. And I think this is Hint of Pink. Love it. It's one of my favorite go-tos. And I'm good for the day. I still have that dewy finish because I hydrated. I used a luminous foundation, but it is going to set all day long. The last thing that I would do is my lips. I'm just going to show you that it is okay to color outside the line on the bottom. It's all right. And then I have teeny little top lip. Always have. Seems to get narrower as I am getting a little bit older. But then I would just put on just whatever lipstick you wanted. So this is Rosewood. It's always a good go-to. And I'm done for the day. So that's it. I'm not even really going to do anything to my hair today. It is just done. I'm going out, going to go do my errands, run around. Again, if I wanted to build up my eyes, I would do it on the corner here, maybe add a little liner. Not today. I just want that fresh, dewy finish look. One and done and easy out, but you can do so much more if you choose to. The key is on this one to really hydrate, because if your skin looks crepey, your finish will look crepey. And then finish it off with a little powder, because we don't want to look too wet. We just want to look youthful and dewy, and then just go. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you like it. If so, let me know how I can help you. Bye.